Hey team, Merry Christmas, and today we create this painting. Let's hop right in. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Well, you know my name is Gregory, and a lot to do. Drawings and paintings and cooking and music and tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Hey team, what's going on? So, it's the fall, well the end of the fall, and I figured, well, time to get me a fall painting. Now, I figured you guys didn't really care about the blocking in, so I'm just going to speed on through this. And this is my golden mean gauge. Super handy, guys. I use it all the time. I'm using a picture reference, and I reckon it's a barn. The house will be over to the right, and it's going to be blue. You can tell it's a barn because it's reddish. And as we all know, all barns are red. And here I am using my gauge again to determine where exactly I'm going to put the house. I use the golden mean in determining where I'm going to place nearly everything in my paintings. I think it's super important because I'm not smart enough to figure out where to put things by myself. And the picture that I'm using, the picture reference, doesn't have these houses in the barn in any particular place. They're just on the screen in the photo, and so I wanted to optimize their placement, hence the golden mean gauge. Really useful. I highly recommend you guys getting them. I got mine from Etsy, off Etsy. And now I'm going to start in with the fence posts. Those stretch way back to the houses, and so I'm just going to throw them in, making them bigger. I'm not going to bother measuring. I'm just going to eyeball it. That's where the art comes from. This is, after all, art. It's slightly tricky because they're really small, and I don't want them to be one-dimensional, one-color fence posts and rails. And here I am going back over the grass that is most likely not going to be seen. I mean, right there in front, it's going to have a whole bunch of multicolored leaves, so you won't see it there. There will be in the back there. Some you will see it a little bit, but not much. And here I am just putting in some shadow. All that space in the background is going to be completely covered up by the tree, which is coming in now. I didn't bother with the gauge. I just eyeballed it, see which looks best, and well, I determined right there. That's where the big old tree needs to be. It just looked best there. It's not like that in the picture. Again, it's just a reference. It's not a mandate. As Bob would say, this is my world. Do y'all use photos for your paintings or your artwork as references, or do you try to stay strictly with the photo and put everything exactly as it is in the photo into your piece of art? And here I am putting in some roots. They're all probably going to be covered up anyway, but I spend a little bit of time on them because some will be poking up through the leaves that are going to be placed in the bottom. And here I start with leaves on top. I did not do this well. I didn't plan this out at all. How I normally do things and how most people do things when they paint with acrylics is you put on the shadow first, and then you put highlights on top. Well, I didn't want to do that apparently. I just wanted to go with the highlights, and now it just looks like it looks like exactly what I did. I took a paintbrush and smushed color on. They don't look like leaves, and so I went back later and fixed it with a fan brush. And now I'm going to work more on the trunks. And I didn't like how it was bare in the back there, so I'm going to go ahead and put in another tree because I think it gives it nice symmetry. And the picture did have I think it's a cedar tree over there by the house, so I put it in. And I'm not quite satisfied with the tree trunk. It's kind of the main feature, so I want to make it nice and rugged, give it a lot of character. So I'm putting more highlights on. As you can see right here, your experience will vary, of course. But I thought since it was, front and center, it needed to have some really thick, rigidy bark, which would catch a lot of light, hence the detail. And here I am coming back with a fan brush. Now this is some, I probably could have knocked back that color a little bit. It's a little saturated for my liking for being so far back there, but it will dry. It will dry a little bit less exuberantly colored. It'll dry less saturated. See, it's already a little bit. Plus I kicked it back a little bit with a little bit of white from the highlight. And I want to separate that ridge from the background of the painting. And I also want to reinforce some of the grassy areas that are going to be poking through the leaves on the ground there. So that's what I'm doing here. And of course, I also wanted to make some hard lines because it was too soft for my liking. And that's it, guys. To me, it's important that in the foreground that the shadows be really, really dark. And so that's what I'm going to do here. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Tell me what you think of the painting, and let me know if you decide to make one of your own. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you next time.